Hello again, everybody. This is Michael Dempsey for HorseBettingWorld.com. We're going to take a look at some of the stakes action for this weekend. On Saturday, we have the Summit of Speed from Calder, 4 really good graded stakes sprints. We're also going to take a look at the turf race at Belmont Park, the Grade 1 Man-O-War. Hopefully you're with us last week's video. 3 winners on top in 5 races on the Downs After Dark program. We also closed out Churchill Downs with a really good meeting. Last 4 days of the meet, I had 18 winners on top, including 6 on the Friday Downs After Dark card. Also, July 4th closing day, I had 6 winners on top as well, so we closed out the meet in fine fashion. It's Belmont Park for the next couple of weeks. I'll be handicapping Belmont Park every day, Wednesday through Sunday, and then Saratoga is only a couple of weeks away, opening up on July 22nd, a 40-day meet that runs through September. 35 graded stakes. It's my favorite meet of the year and usually my most profitable meet as well. So Saratoga kicking in on July 22nd. I'll have my full card analysis available every day right here at HorseBettingWorld.com. Let's take a look at some of the stakes action for Saturday. First, we'll head off to Belmont Park for the Grade 1 Man-O-War. This looks like Gio Ponte's going for his 3rd win in this race. That would be a record. A few horses have won it twice. No horse has won it 3 times. But I'm going to go with Cape Blanco, who's making his U.S. debut for Aidan O'Brien. Also, jockey Jamie Spencer makes the trip over. I'm not real happy about that. I haven't been a fan of Jamie Spencer since the Arlington Million debacle that cost me a huge day a few years ago. The son of Galileo had an outstanding 3-year-old campaign. He won a couple of Group 1s, including the Irish Derby and the Irish Champion Stakes. Then he finished off this year with a tough trip in the Arc, where he finished 14th. The colt's winless this year, all with the Spencer aboard, by the way. He was 4th in the Dubai World Cup. That was his first start over the PETA surface. So he's obviously much better on turf. Then he was a decent 4th in the Prix Gannet at Longchamp. He was 6th in his last start in the Queen Anne Stakes, beaten soundly by Canford Cliffs. The runner-up in that race, of course, was Goldikova. Lasix is added here, and if he returns to his 2010 form, which I think if O'Brien's bringing him over to the U.S. for this race, I think he's going to fire a much better effort, and I think he's got a good shot of knocking off Gio Ponte. Gio Ponte, like I said, is going for his 3rd Man-O-War win, and he should rebound off a 3rd place finish in the Manhattan. That outing came over yielding turf, a little too much give to the ground that day. Also, Mission Approved, who was coming off the layoff, got away with really soft early fractions. He went gate to wire. Gio Ponte's done his best running over the turf at Belmont Park. He's landed in the exact 8 of 9 starts. The distance suits him a little firmer. He should get a little bit firmer ground too. But I think he's going to get maybe a little bit overbet in this spot. So I think Cape Blanco might be a little bit better value here. If we see 2 to 1 or better. Gio Ponte, I think, is going to get bit down from the 2 to 1 morning line. An outsider that might have a shot if one of the top 2 doesn't fire would be Boisterous, who made a stakes debut, winning one, taking the 3 coins up. Faces a much tougher test here, going into Grade 1 company. The runner-up in his last race was Grassy, who came back to run a solid 2nd in the Singspiel, Grade 2 race at Woodbine. Was only beaten a neck in that effort. So that flatters Boisterous a little bit that he might be able to jump up in the class here and maybe be a factor. And also, Shug McGahee's having a great Belmont Park meeting. He's hitting at a 30% clip, so his horses are really firing. So look for Boisterous. He's going to be a price. He's, I think, 6 to 1 in the morning line. I figure he's probably going to go off at 8 to 1 or so. So if one of the top 2 fails to fire, I think Boisterous has a shot to be right in the mix. Now let's head off to Calder. We've got 4 graded stakes on the Summit of Speed card. Calder race 9 is the Azalea. I'm going to go with Mayday Rose, who's shipping in from Southern California for the Bob Baffert barn. Philly won the Railbird last out, going 7 furlongs over the fake stuff. She has run well on conventional dirt. She won the 2-turn instant racing at Oaklawn Park. That was a 2-turn mile. She looks quick enough to handle the cut back to 6 furlongs. She's the 8 to 5 morning line favorite. I'm going to use her on top of Beso Grande and White Merlot. Calder race 9 is the carryback. Post time at 4:40 Eastern time. Pretty good matchup here. I'm going to go with Cal Nation, who's coming off a sharp win in the Allowance Company last out at Belmont Park, going 6 furlongs. Looks like he's ready to try Stakes Company again. 2 back in the Dwyer, he caught a sloppy track, and the Todd Pletcher trainee dueled for the early lead and finished a well-beaten 8th as the beaten favorite. He's been working really well since his last start, and it looks like he's sitting on a really good effort here. He's a half to stakes winners, Bluegrass Cat, earner of $1.7 million, and also Lord of the Game, who won over $500,000. So I think Cal Nation still has a little bit of upside, and he may go off as the 3rd choice in this race behind Smash and Indiano. Calder race 11 is the Smile Sprint Handicap, goes off at 5:07 Eastern time. I'm going to go with A Priority, who's returning off a 2-month layoff. Tough nose loss in the Churchill Downs, a Grade 2 on Derby Day. The colt had to be put on hold coming around the turn, kind of sitting behind the leaders, drifted out mid-stretch. He did grab a short lead, but got nailed at the wire. 2 back, the Colt was a good second in the Calder handicap. That's a grade 1 race at Aqueduct. He owns a solid pace profile throughout. He has won 2 races over the Calder main tracks. You know, some horses don't like Calder. A Priority looks like he will. He's 3-1 in the morning line. I'm going to use him over Giant, Ryan, and Noble's Promise. And the final race of the Summit of Speed is Calder Race 12, the Princess Rooney handicap. It's a grade 1 race. I'm going to go with a bit of a long shot here. Cosmo Girl is 10-1 in the morning line, shipping in from Lone Star. Dueled for the early lead and finished gamely to come up just a head shy of winning the Valid Expectations. The winner of that race was Irish Gypsy, who came back to win the Desert Stormer in her next outing at Hollywood Park on June 19th. I liked her win 2 back in the Carousel at Oaklawn Park, where she took the field gate to wire. I think she's going to be a bit of a price. I have a habit of dismissing these Lone Star shippers, and it burns me time and time again. So this one, at least we got a price. Cosmo Girl, 10-1 in the morning line. She should go off, 5 or 6-1. I'm going to use her on top of Sassy Image, who we nailed at 16-1 in 2 starts back, and also Champagne d'Oro, who's a pretty classy lady. So Cosmo Girl over Sassy Image and Champagne d'Oro. That's a look at the Summit of Speed. Make sure you check out horsebettingworld.com for all your horse betting information. Also, don't forget to check us out both on Twitter and on Facebook. Have a great weekend at the races.